time of day it is for you. I'm Alicia J. Speaks, and tonight, or daytime for you, we're going to be talking about mindset matters, all right? So, you are in for a treat tonight. So, if you have passed by this page, don't you dare scroll. Go ahead, like the channel and follow us. Give it a big thumbs up. Why? Because we are giving very useful information. Definitely news that you can use. So tonight we want to get into a little bit about talking about the mindset and how that matters. And you guys, if you really think about it, the mindset matters in everything that we do, right? Your mindset matters when it comes to daily life. Your mindset matters when it comes to how you think about yourself or don't think, in all honesty. And so I've learned that, and still learning, guys, really, that there's areas that I have mastered my mindset in, and I have a very positive mindset about some things. And in those things, those are the things that I tend to excel in, or if you will, the seasons that I tend to excel is when my mindset is that of positivity, is one of belief, and that's where my focus is. I've been kind of reading material and listening, of course, to different YouTubers and different things and learning information. And one of the things I'm learning more and more when it comes to our eye gates, when you hear a person says eye gates, that means your eyes, whatever you look at, whatever you put in front of you is a visual intake. It is a visual. And believe it or not, what you look at makes a difference on what the outcome comes in your life. So you may be wondering, how is that possible? Because that is literally how the mind is set up. Our mind is designed to take in what it's looking at. So the more that we look at positive, the more positive we're going to be, right? And the more you look at something negative, you're going to have negative spirit, you're going to have negative energy, you're just going to be very negative. Why? Because that's what you're putting in front of yourself. And so tonight we want to talk about the importance of the mindset and how do we switch in those areas where we may not be as positive as we should. Remember, everything we have is a gate. It is an entrance of what can come in and what goes out. For one thing, our eye gate, that's what we look at, that's what we see. So that does make a difference in what goes in and what goes out. Your ear gates is something that you hear. It's things that you hear. So in other words, if there is a positive conversation, a positive something in your hearing, you're hearing positive things, your mind begins to believe, right, what it is actually hearing. So with that, for instance, guys, when my girls were younger, in particular, the younger two girls, when they were younger, I remember both of them struggled a little bit in different ways with self-esteem, if you will. and just being very quiet, very introverted, naturally so. Introverts don't like to talk a lot in front of people. They're very withdrawn, kind of to themselves. They enjoy just being quiet. But this is what I can say about an introvert. Now, when they speak, it's kind of like E.F. Hutton, you know. Yeah, it's okay if you don't know who that is. Look it up, Google it. All right. But if when they do speak, normally they don't have a filter. That's what I've learned about introverts. Um, yeah, because there's so much to themselves that even when they get ready to speak or get ready to share something, they will actually end up just letting it out. And sometimes it can come across very harsh, or, yeah, it can come across harsh with no feeling or emotion. And I believe that that's because a lot of times they don't know how to get it out. Um, and they've had to muster up enough courage to be able to just say it. So in that case, they simply just say it, and however it comes out, that's how it comes out. Yes. And so I've learned that. But anyway, when they were younger, the story I wanted to share is oftentimes they were very quiet, so I had to build up their confidence. And I began to watch this movie years ago. It used to be on like videos or DVDs or whatever. VHS even, I don't know, long time ago. You get the picture. They're 17 and 19 now. So years ago, they were little girls, and I remember I started saying to them, I had them repeat after me out loud. I would have them say, my name is, and they would repeat that, and they would say their name. Then I would have them say, and there's nobody in the world more smarter or prettier than me. And I know that sounds a little far-fetched, but do you know what I was doing? I was telling them what their brain needed to hear so that they can begin to walk in confidence themselves. Now, is that absolutely true? Well, truth is in the ears, the eyes of the beholder. But the point I'm making is I begin to have my girls repeat that over and over, and it shifted the trajectory of their mindset. It shifted how they begin to think about themselves. And I noticed we would do it every day, and it started building their confidence. And do you know, my girls went from failing grades to their grades began to climb. Went from not being able to read to being the top in their class. Why am I sharing that? I'm sharing that because the mindset matters. The mindset matters. So we can not fully understand all of what we're saying. And it's kind of just like affirmations as well. Even if you don't quite believe it, even if you're not quite there, the more you say something, the more it becomes real to you. The more you focus on it and look at it, the more it begins to manifest in your life. And let's take, for instance, vision boards. People say, write it down, you know. And the Word of God says, write the vision, make it plain, so they can run with it that see it, right? So when we are writing out a vision, that means we're putting it before us, what we're believing and desiring to see, right? And so you may not see it manifest at first, and you may have to say it over and over and over before you see the results of that, right? So I'm sharing that because that's how important it is when it comes to our mindset, right? So I'm going to share some nuggets too with you so that you can put these into practice when you decide. And if you want to scroll up to 1036 or whatever, and to begin to do these affirmations, I want you to begin to say this until this begins to manifest in your life. So these are just some I wrote down just to remain positive within myself and to train myself to continue to think positive, irregardless to what's happening, right? So I wrote, stop trying to be and just be. Yes. Stop trying to be and just be. Be what? Be awesome. Why? Because you are awesome. You know, nobody can beat you being you. And so when you just be awesome, your awesome self, your awesome energy, your awesome ideals, your awesome spirit, whatever it is, when you just be it, it takes the pressure off of trying to perform for somebody else. All right. And the other one is be amazing. Yes, you are absolutely amazing. And so you just be amazing. It's not an effort to put up. You just have to know that you're amazing by yourself. You're amazing with your creativity. You're amazing with the things that you do, how you do it. You are amazing just with that. You know, you may have a beautiful smile. You may can show up and light up a room and change the atmosphere of a room. But if you don't say that, if you don't know that, then you won't know that you're amazing. And all you got to do is just show up and let her out. Let that person out that you already are, right? And then the next one is be beneficial. Yes, beneficial. You're worth something. Yes, the quality of you is worth something. So, not only are you awesome and amazing, but beneficial. That means you're valuable. You're valuable when people have you around. You're valuable. You bring value to a room when you enter it. You bring value to a conversation when you have it. You bring value when you show up on your job. You bring value to the YouTube algorithm. They may not have gotten it yet. By the way, YouTube, yes, get it together, because this is awesomeness over here, right? Okay, YouTube, this is awesome. And we are beneficial because tell me on these pages, who's on here that's like me? I'll wait. That's what I thought. Because there is no one else like me, right? So I bring a unique energy. I bring a professionalism. I bring a articulation. I bring a all of just multifaceted here, right? And yes, so you have to know what you bring and know that for the right audience, this is going to be what they need, you know? And since I'm multifaceted, I have that serious side, you know, and very passionate about things. So when I'm not passionate, I mean, when I am passionate, my voice elevates and it gets really strong. And I'm not yelling, but I'm passionate at that time about something that I'm talking about, right? So we need all of that. And the other thing is be calming. You know, I realize that's something that I'm gifted with, and to be able to be calming to people. I have a calm voice. I have a calm spirit. And being able to give that when you show up, people that are looking for real, that are looking for the calmness that you have, they can feel your spirit. They can know. People call it energy. Whether you say energy or spirit, it's the same thing, right? People can feel if you are calm or not, you know? And somebody may have had a really rough day and they may be upset and flustered. And by the way, I do that on a daily basis. I talk to people on the phone and I do diffuse them from being upset. And you may be asking, how do I do that and without getting upset myself? Well, for one thing, it's more in my nature. However, there are times that I have to separate that person's emotion and myself. I can't take it personal because a customer is on the other end and they may be raising their voice, they may be frustrated, they may be sarcastic, um and I can honestly say I have had a couple of very disgruntled customers. But how do I handle that and stay within the same dynamic in which I must to be professional and to give them the atmosphere of what's on the other end of the phone? First of all, I listen. And you need to take this down. You listen to understand, not to respond. And if you're a person that listens only to wait till they get finished and you want to respond, you really haven't heard what the other person is saying. And if you truly listen, you will learn what fertile listening is. Fertile listening means you're actually hearing that person's pain point. You're hearing the heart of that individual. And with that, you are actually repeating back to them what you hear them saying. And you also empathize. You put yourself in that position and you allow yourself to feel that emotion as a person too. How would you feel? If you've been on the phone for hours and you've had to go back and forth to 2 or 3 different companies, everybody you get seems like they just want to push you through. They're not really hearing and trying to help you. You would be very frustrated. Well, a lot of times I get those calls and the person is not frustrated at me, but even though I work for the company, they direct it towards me and they'll say, you did this, you did that. Well, the truth of it is, it's not me. Matter of fact, it's not even our department. But anywho, let's stay focused. The point of it is, they're trying to express something that really has bothered them. And so I take out time and first of all, I say, you know, first of all, I do want to acknowledge your frustration. It is very valid. That's me letting them know, yes, you have every right to feel that way. And I do say, I would be frustrated too. You know why? Because the truth of it is, a lot of the things they experience is frustrating. And with frustration, a lot of times You have to be able to relate with somebody. And if they can't relate, do you know that it makes them more angry when you are short with them, quickly try to brush them off? Well, they've already had that. So what they're needing is for you to show empathy. Empathy is when you put yourself in that person's position as if you would want somebody to do for you. So that's how you help to diffuse when a person is very upset. And they may keep repeating it over and over. And you may feel the darts as if it's hitting towards you, but you do want to remain calm and repeating yourself and let them know you actually hear them. You actually hear them. Okay? Then it says, be delightful. Be delightful. Are you a delight? Are you a joy for somebody to have around? Do you make people feel good? Do you make them, are they encouraged when they encounter you? You know? So all of those things make a difference, right? It just does. So the other one is be exceptional. Be exceptional, guys. Yes. Be exceptional. Okay? And that's above ordinary. You know, exceptional. You're just wonderful. And there's nothing anybody could do about that, right? You're absolutely awesome. You're amazing. You are beneficial, calming, delightful, exceptional, and forgiving. Yes, be forgiving. You know, sometimes people are not as forgiving, and that's okay. But you do want to extend grace to people and forgive them. You know, that's right. And I had to learn when it came to forgiveness, guys, that it is a choice, not a feeling. Because I don't always feel forgiveness. I didn't always feel it, but I knew that it was the right thing to do, was to forgive. So, all right. So, you guys, I do want to go over just a little bit more. Talking about mindset here. And you guys, try to put my little scarf thing on. I'm not used to having it on. But anyway, I felt like it. That's why I put it on. All right. Now, I want to share with you even how your mindset in general can change the trajectory of your life, of anything that you're doing. There is one scripture that says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Now, that one and the Write the Vision one, and well, it's a few that are my favorite, but I would have to say those two. And then there's another one, we'll talk about it later. But the truth of it is, however you think and really believe about yourself in your heart, that's what you are and that's what you manifest. And so if you think that you're not worthy, if you think that you're never going to break through the algorithm, if you think that you are not going to change, then you won't see that. But you have to have that mindset and that belief that I can do this. I can get through this. As the queen of bounce back, listen, I have had to bounce back from all type of things. Good evening, Audra, Arabella. Thank you for stopping in. I have had to bounce back from so many different things in life. And guess where it started? It started with my mindset. It started with my belief system. And it doesn't mean that it was easy. Those times it was not easy. It was very hard. It was difficult. And there were times that the pressure was so great that I could have given up, but I didn't. I didn't. I had to focus on what I wanted the outcome to be, not my current situation. And a lot of times when we walk through things, we focus so much on what we see instead of what we desire to see. Now, I'm going to say that again. If you focus on what you see, just if you're going through times of testing or coming through and you may not have reached your goal yet, you may not be monetized yet, you may not be making enough money yet, or whatever the situation is, if you focus on that, then you won't grow. But if you focus on where you desire to be and start watching people that are already doing it, that's how you're going to get there. That was how I was able to overcome and come through with recovery when it came to surviving a stroke. And I had to work hard. And I had to keep my thought process positive. Yes, I did. And I think I'm going to do something I have not done before. I'm actually going to read some inserts. I think if it's on here, let's see. I'm going to read just a few inserts from my very first book that I wrote. And I want to share these with you guys because if you don't know my story, I'm a stroke survivor. And from my hospital bed, as I was working to get back on my feet, I began to write, okay? And so out of that came this journal to recovery that speaks in a very positive way. And perhaps you may not be experiencing a stroke, but you may be walking through something that you are bouncing back from. You may have had a whole lot and you may have lost some, or you may have lost it all and you find yourself starting over. You may have gone through a broken relationship. You may have lost a loved one, lost a job. A lot of people are getting laid off and things are not the same, and that can be very discouraging. But I want to speak to you from a place of somebody that had to bounce back more times than I even care to mention. But I know what it's like to have a lot and lose it all. I know what it's like. At one season of my life, I owned 4 or 5 different properties, multiple cars, I owned businesses, plural. I had a restaurant and a catering business. I used to own a daycare. and preschool. So when you've been blessed to have done quite a bit and then lose it all, that's a place that humility comes in. But this is what I want to remind you about, that place. Don't focus on what you lost. And I know, wait a minute, before you judge, I know that place can be hard. I walked it. I walked through that, having all of that and losing so much. So, what I realized is a lot of the people that you see are successful now, that millionaires or billionaires, they lost it. A lot of them have had bankruptcy, some of them more than once. So, why am I sharing that? Because in life, there are losses. So, don't be discouraged if you have experienced a loss. And what I'm learning about YouTube, your numbers can go up and you can look up and they're dropping down and you're wondering what in the world is happening. Well, don't be discouraged. In life, there are different seasons and we simply have to ride them out. You know why? Because it is in those seasons that we are learning something. Everything that we go through, we're supposed to grow through. All right? I want you to remember that. You don't just go through it, you grow through it. How do you grow? You learn something that you didn't know. You learn how to have tenacity. You learn how to have strength that you didn't even know existed. When I had a stroke, I didn't know that kind of strength existed. I could have laid up there and been like, woe is me, and don't think I didn't shed tears. Yes, I did. I shed a few tears because I wanted somebody to put me back together. I wanted them to put me back how I was before the incident happened. But guess what? There was no magic pill. Nobody was going to do that hard work but me. Nobody was going to tell my mindset that you can get through this. I told myself every day, you will get through this. You will walk again. I was paralyzed on my left side. Couldn't go to the bathroom by myself, couldn't dress myself, couldn't wash myself. I lost all ability. And mind you, I felt like I was a stranger in my own body. I'm telling you, going through a stroke did something to me. And I couldn't lay down and just give up. I began to journal, and that was one of the things they said, okay, well, start journaling. For one thing, it helps you with your fine motor. You can hold on to the pen and you're learning how to write or pick up. And they had me do it with my left side, which was not my dominant side. Well, as I was going through that, I began to grow. My mindset elevated before my body could do it. And do you know what happened with that? My body began to align with my mindset. That's when I first learned the concept of you are only limitation. Well, the only limitation you have is a limitation in your mind. So if you can get the mindset right, everything else will follow. If you can get your mindset to believe that you really can accomplish whatever your goals are, you really can bounce back. And guess what? Yes, I used to own multiple properties and all of those things. I went from that to going through being homeless, guys. So I'm not telling you anything that I haven't experienced. I'm saying that because I know what it took in order for me to get up from there. It took me understanding that mindset matters. And listen, let me remind you of this. if you had it once, you have the ability to get it all back again. That's why you can listen to millionaires and their stories of how they lost everything. And then they turn around and made even more. They reinvented themselves and they came back, right? So you and I can do the exact same thing. Reinvent yourself and come back, right? The only person that can stop you from showing back up is you. It doesn't matter what the naysayers say. It doesn't matter. People don't know you. They have no idea the ability that you have, the strength, the tenacity. You have taken life's worst hits and you are still here. You get up and you do it again and again every day. So I applaud you. You need to know that you are valuable. Somebody needs your story. Yes, somebody needs your story. Somebody needs to hear that you've been able to do it and they can too, right? That's what made me start sharing my story, is when I ended up having a stroke. And when that happened, I mean, yes, the hardest words to hear was when the neurologist walked in and just said, it's just going to take time. I'm thinking, and walks out the door. No, you don't tell me I was in ICU. You don't tell me it's going to take time. Fix me back. Whatever's wrong with me, fix me. And that was the mindset I had. And I immediately burst out crying in that moment. And I was like, okay, I got two things I can do. I can either sit here and dry up and die, or I can fight. I can fight. And I begin to say, okay, God, I'm going to need you. Because I cannot do this without you. I cannot get through this without you. I don't know what's going on, but I'm listening. Hey, what am I supposed to learn from this? And the more I began to go through that, I realized I went through that for more of the people that I would meet throughout my life than I did just me. And there were several life lessons that I learned. One of the things is you must take time and reset for yourself, or your body will take its own time. Your body will say, I'm done. You don't want to rest? Okay, I'm done. Yeah, okay, whatever. And literally, my body took its own break. I was a person that was nonstop, always working, always serving, always doing, just nonstop. And guess what? I don't regret any of that, but I learned a valuable lesson that there are times that I must step back and be intentional about resetting my spirit, resetting and realigning with God, listening and getting quiet. And then there's times that I needed to focus on me and not just my children, and not just at the time being a spouse and all those things. But you learn life lessons and you grow through it. So don't ever think that it was for nothing. It's always for a reason. And guess what? I've written 2 books, by the way. So I would have never written them, and they're not digital books. I mean, that's just all new. This is back in 2017 when I had that first stroke. All right. So, now I do have it as a digital copy, but it wasn't a digital book. It was an actual book. But why am I sharing that? I'm sharing that because you need to know that you're valuable. Your voice is valuable. Nobody can speak like you. And there may be people that's more popular. Listen, YouTube just don't know it yet, but I'm the best kept secret over here. They just don't realize the value that comes. You know, the same for you. You are valuable. The unique way that you present yourself. And you may be multifaceted like myself, or you may have a certain regiment you do. I'm multifaceted. It depends on which side of me you're going to get according to what's going to come out, right? But it's going to be good. It's going to be what's needed. And I never knew that I could add value to a person's life with just simply sharing my story of what I was walking through. And what I learned is sometimes people want to see your scars. And sometimes we're so busy wanting to show up perfect. Well, just like tonight, I'm not showing up perfect. Listen, see this? And I hardly even tie my hair. But I did tonight because why? Because I felt like it. And sometimes we have to just do that. Do it because that's what you felt like doing. Right? And not apologizing for it. Don't have to always be, glammed up, and if you've looked at my post, I have a few where I'm just, really together. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like to keep myself together. But the point of it is, you don't have to be perfect. Just be real. I mean, this is literally who I am. I didn't go and put on makeup and do whatever before I pushed the button to come live. No, because I didn't feel like doing that. Not tonight. Now, I have in the past. Certain days I'll fix it up. Or if I've been at work, So, I am sharing that with you because there's so much value in you that you have to know that. Audra, yes. This is the season to be unapologetically yourself. Thank you for that comment, Audra. That's exactly it. Unapologetically. Why should we apologize for being ourselves? Why should we apologize, right? Because the most authentic version of us is what people need to hear. And listen, the more comfortable I get over here on YouTube, the more you guys will see. I'm not new to speaking. I'm just new to YouTube, right? So I'm new over here. But Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, I'm not new over there. But I'm saying that to say it's okay to be ourselves. And I tend to be very transparent with my sharing. And I have conversations that help bring about healing. And that's just the way that it was given to me. And what I've learned is the more I would share, there are others that are experiencing that. And sometimes they can think that they're the only ones that feel that way. It can be embarrassed by their go through or, having had so much. Like I shared, I had a lot of things, great big old house and all this stuff, and lost it all. Lost everything. But guess what? I still have my life. I have my health. I have my strength. I am on a bounce back. So you can't focus on what you lost. Focus on what you desire to see. And don't measure your path by somebody else's. Because each of us are given our own path to walk. And if you get caught up in looking at your life, comparing it to somebody else's life that is around the same age and thinking, oh, I'm behind, I should have this. They may already have homes and all of this stuff and doing wonderful. And they may be your age. They could be younger. Guess what? That's okay. That's their journey. Just don't give up, because you will get through this. There's nobody that can stop you but you. It doesn't matter what they say, and it doesn't mean that it's not gonna be hard. Yes, there's gonna be days that it's hard. I would be lying to you if I told you that there were not days that it was hard. It was hard. There's days that my body was racking with pain and I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to do physical therapy. I didn't want to keep going when I lost everything. I wanted to understand why. But guess what? If I stayed stuck in that, instead of focusing on where I wanted to be, I would have never began to walk again. I would have never gained my ability to be independent again. So, mindset is that important because it can stagnate you. If you have the wrong mindset, if you have the wrong beliefs and thoughts about yourself, you can get stuck in the middle of that. And I'm sharing with you so that you don't have to stay stuck. I wish there was somebody that was transparent enough to say, hey, the truth is there's going to be days that you cannot. You feel like, what's the use? Like, well, what's happening here? There's times that I was even like, God, do you see me? Like, what's going on? Like, and wondering, why did I have to lose everything? And why did, being successful and what you identify as success. Yes. And so now, being a person of mature age and having to bounce back again, guess what? Here we are. But this is the reminder. The same person inside of me, inside of you, has the same ability to bounce back. If you were able to do it before, if you were able to have business, if you were able to own a car and it may have gotten repoed, I went through that. If you were able to do any of those things, you're able to get back up. Yes, it may be embarrassing. Yes, you may get tired. And you may have family or friends or people that say stuff on a slide, kind of like backhand compliments, and it's like, it's about time you, okay, it's about time. Yeah, I'm just saying, you look nice today. Those type of statements are backhand compliments. You're being sarcastic and you're trying to compliment me at the same time. That's backhanded. So, I don't know. Sometimes you may experience those things, but guess what? You have to get them out of your ear and out of your head, because you have to know that whatever you have gotten through, God has placed within you the ability to get back up again. And you got to know that. And that's right. That's right, Audra. Help them, Lord, because that's the only one that can. Listen. And you got to know, those words are just coming to discourage you, to keep you from looking at what God has you doing. Now, the word of God says, no man is fit for the kingdom with his hands to the plow looking back. Long as you keep looking backwards, you won't ever get to your destination. You cannot do anything about anything that you've lost. Anybody that's gone, if they walked away, whatever the case is, guess what? Sometimes it doesn't feel good. But sometimes God has to allow things to be removed from us so that he can bring us the new, right? Rhonda in Alabama country. Backhanded comments. Never heard that before. Yes, well, welcome Rhonda in Alabama country. Yes, where I come from, we call it backhanded compliment because you're really being sarcastic and you're complimenting me in a very sarcastic way while you're still putting me down. That's backhanded. So it's like, thank you. I think it's like, I think, thank you. Like, what do you mean by that? It's kind of like, if a person looks nice, you say, oh, you look very nice, or I love your dress, love your outfit. But when they say it, oh, you look nice today. What are you insinuating? Today? Like, as in, I don't look nice any other day? Yeah. So it can be a backhanded compliment. It just depends on the individual. But we cannot let that deter us. We cannot let that stop us. We got to stay focused. If we're looking behind us, can you drive and not looking in the rear view mirror? If you're driving and you're constantly looking up in your rear view mirror, guess what's going to happen? You're going to crash because you cannot see what's in front of you. And that's what happens in life. We hit crash after crash because we're so busy looking in the rear view mirror thinking about what we lost, who we lost, why did they leave us? We don't understand it. We gave them the best of our lives and they still screwed us over. Why would they leave? Why would they do this? And sometimes betrayal is a rough one. Anybody ever experienced it other than me? My goodness. And so sometimes we can get caught up in the pain of that without realizing we must let it go. Because if that gets in our mindset and we begin to harbor and hold that unforgiveness and that bitterness, and we say we go on with our lives, but if that person crosses our mind or we hear their name, we feel something on the inside. Yeah. We really have to let it go. You got to let it go and allow God to heal that. And I know it's not easy. But it is necessary. And it's not for them, it's for you. It is for you. Because this is what I've also learned. That unless you're willing to let that go, then you won't know what it's like to be truly free and free indeed. You won't know what it's like to live to your fullest potential that God has for you. You're going to always be limited in how you live because you've allowed yourself to be stuck in a place of hurt, stuck in a place of pain. Yes, looking in the rearview mirror, wondering why would they do that? Sometimes we have no answers. And sometimes that pain is so deep that we wonder if we will ever stop hurting again. And some of us have even said, I'll never forget that. Oh, I'm never going to forget that. I'm just not. I'm not going to deal with them anymore, but I'm never going to forgive them. Well, I want to encourage you. to allow yourself to heal in this season. Healing is necessary because if you keep that mindset, you're going to stay stuck in what was. And God can't even give you the new of what He's trying to bring to you. He has so much more for you in this season. There's so many great things in store for you. And you will love again. You will get those things back again. But if you don't heal, you're going to bleed on people that did not cut you. Anything that reminds you of that pain, you're going to bleed on them. You're gonna remember, oh, well, he left me, or they did this, or they did that. Guess what? It's time to heal. And that person may be gone on with their life. And you're stuck in the memory of what was, so you're keeping yourself stagnated. You're the only one stopping you. And you have to know that you are worth it. You are worth it. And God loves you so much that He does not want you to harbor that unforgiveness, harbor those things that will cause you to stay stuck. You got to know that. And so we may not have all the answers and understand why. Why do we go through this? But guess what? Your test is going to be a testimony. God's going to get the glory out of your life. And look, I often say it's another chapter in the book. In the book. Your story is not done. You might didn't choose your family. You might didn't choose what happened to you, but you get to choose how it ends. You get to choose what you do now. Starting today, you get to choose that. You can't erase the past, but you get to choose. And do you know that God can cause oils of joy to come in where there's been sadness and mourning? You may have been mourning over things that you've lost. It may have been people. It could have been whatever. What I learned is there are different types of grief. There's types that we can walk through. But I want to encourage you. You are so valuable. Hello, Fatima. Welcome. Doing good, doing so good. Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. So yes, you are doing so good. And you've got to know that. But if you allow yourself not to focus on going forward and you keep looking behind you, you're going to be stuck. Going to be stuck, my sisters. You will be stuck, my brothers. You will be stuck. Because you got to keep your eyes on what you desire to see. What is it that you want? What is it that you desire? God will give you the desires of your heart. Things will begin to grow for you. Things will begin to get better. Don't focus on how it looks right now. Focus on the outcome. Remember, whatever you put in front of your eye gates, do you know your eyes are gates, right? Because what it sees, it allows to go inside. So that's why we don't necessarily need to look at everything, right? Cooking with Moms 23. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome in. Rhonda in Alabama says, doing okay. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you. Had to stop in on this live tonight. Beautiful lady. Oh, blessings to you, Rhonda in Alabama country. I am so honored to have each of you tonight. Like done, number 5. All right. Awesome. Um, so all of you that are coming in, I am very honored to have each of you, Fatima, and all of you in the room. Hello, hello to all of you. Double shalom to all of you. Blessings. And so we do want to keep our mindset in the mind of what we allow our eyes to see. If we want to grow, we need to put things in front of our eyes that are going to take us there. What we see is what we will behold. Whatever we look at, that's what's going to happen. So I want to encourage you, don't hit the Cooking with Boss 23. Please remember to hit the like button as you come in. Thank you for saying that. Please hit the like button. I'll be on a roll here talking and I won't even think about it. But thank you. I understand that each of us, what we see, that's what's going to manifest, whatever we behold, whatever we take in. So we cannot allow, if it is things that's real negative, real dark, don't allow your eyes to watch it. I don't know about you, but I don't watch things like that because I'm protective over my peace, over my spirit. I'm very protective, okay? And you should be too, because your eye gates. And I've heard it said the eyes are the window to the soul. So be careful what you allow yourself to see. And if you want to continue to grow and move forward, look at things that are where you're going. Follow people that are where you desire to be. Glean from them. Learn from them. And the other gate is ears. All right? Listen. If we listen to negative things, guess what will happen? That negativity gets inside of us. Yes? Thank you, Cooking with Moms. I sure did hit the... Oh, thank you, Rhonda. Thank you as well. Rhonda says, thank you, Cooking with Moms 23. I sure did hit the like, need a love button too. Oh, that's sweet. We do need a love. Yes. Fatima, yes, ears, our ear gates, what we allow to come in. Now, when we take in wonderful things, when we take in good positive words, when we take in positive energy, when we surround ourselves, even if you're around nature, when you take that in, guess what's happening? You are allowing that to go into your ear gate. You're hearing and it's going down into your spirit man, right? And you're taking in the positive. You're taking all of that in. So, but if there's things that are loud, that are negative, that are all of those things that are dark, we don't want to listen to that. Turn it off, swipe the page, because guess what happens? Everything is a gate. And you may or may not know this, but I'm going to inform you. It is a gate. I don't know if you've ever experienced, been around people, and all of a sudden your energy changed for no reason. You become aggravated and agitated, and you're like, what? Why do I have an attitude? Where'd that come from? Sometimes their spirit is off, and they have such a negative spirit on them that it jumps off on you, and now you're aggravated or upset for no reason. That's because you got to guard your energy, guard what you allow to come in your eye gates, your ear gates, okay? That's wonderful. Rhonda in Alabama country, okay, that's why I enjoy outside more in life as I age. Same, absolutely, Rhonda. When you go outside, do you know that even being under the sun, the rays of the sun are healing for you? If you are a person that deals with depression. Depression wants you to stay inside, closed off to everybody, shades, everything dark, right? But to lift the mood, open up the shades, go out into the sun and get some vitamin D. It naturally lifts your mood. Now, if you didn't know that, I'm sharing with you nuggets. This is scientifically proven. It is just the truth. We get our nourishment and the vitamin D from the sun, and it helps to lighten the mood. Yeah. So you feel yourself feeling a little depression trying to come in. You're worried about looking in the rearview mirror. We were talking. We cannot look in the rearview mirror looking behind us. We must look forward. And if you find yourself, having a moment, okay, thinking about what you lost, thinking about what you don't have, or any of those things, guess what? Take that moment and bring yourself back in. Allow yourself to do something positive that lifts your mood. There are different ways that we can help heal ourselves. Now, I'm sharing something with you, and some of you may get it and some of you may not. But I'm not sharing anything that is not beneficial. There are different ways that you can heal yourself, heal your mindset, heal your inner self. There are different ways so you learn the natural ways, because a lot of times we're bogged down with medication and stuff that they give us, and that masks the pain, but it doesn't heal. So we want to learn how to heal our mindset so that we can think in the right manner. Okay? So different things that can help. Thank you. Thank you, Fatima. Sister, you are speaking the truth. Thank you for that comment. Thank you so much. Rhonda in Alabama country sure does. It really does. It does help. And the more that we do get a little bit into this, we'll begin to share some other things that can help. And your mindset, you need to be around positive people. Water too. Rhonda in Alabama country says water too always makes me feel awesome. Lake, pond, ocean. Yes. Yes, my sister. We are there. The ocean, that's my thing too. I love being at a lake, pond, ocean. It's just something about the water and nature. I love listening to it. And I have so many videos of just being at the ocean and listening to it, or walking in it. And it's such a clarity that happens for me. Pond, Fatima. Very good. The pond. Of course, we've been watching you fishing. Watching you fish. So, and you just have a natural knack for that as well. And it's like you're in your element. You're in your happy place. Now, we can all learn something from that because, there's times that, weather permits, that you do need to, and hear me if you will, you do need to take your shoes off at sometimes when you can. I like to do that and walk in the sand and put my feet in the sand. There's times that I do that on the grass, and of course, weather permitting and just being careful. But there are times that you have to have that, like your feet on the ground. Yes, Fatima. Oh, yes. Ground. Yes. And so that is so healthy for you. But if you don't know that makes a difference, then I'm just giving you and sharing with you information of things that do help your body. Yes, absolutely, Fatima. Feel that vibration. Everything in life is a vibration. In case we don't know that, everything is. And so, with understanding that, ladies, let's say this. All right? Rhonda in Alabama Country says, so true. Everything. And that's why like-minded people tend to gather, and they gravitate and they can connect, right? Because they tend to be on the same level. You can feel the vibration of one another. Okay? I call it spirit. Somebody else calls it, you know, they say energy. Okay? But everything, period, it's a vibration. Everything is. Everything is a frequency. Everything is a vibration, even if we don't understand all of it. Okay? So there are times that if we are at a lower vibration, which when we get into depression or anxiety, we're low. We're low. Okay? But you have to become so sensitive to your body and sensitive to your spirit that you understand when something is feeling off. Okay? When something is feeling off, that means there's time. You need to surround yourself with something and someone that's going to help lift your spirit so that you don't stay bottomed out in that lower frequency. Okay? Now, and the more you learn about it, learn about yourself, the more that you learn how to unwind. You learn how to give the body what it needs. You learn that as you grow. And so we all may not do it exactly the same, but learning the benefit of it. You know, if you are feeling heavy, if you're feeling dark, if you're feeling sick, for instance, like me, I'm so in tune that I can feel when something's inside, like inside of my body. Maybe I've eaten something, and I can feel when I start not to feel well that something wasn't right with what I ate. And I can feel that my body needs to reset. So there are times when I literally I can feel as if it's sickness or something and trying to come up. I can feel it in there. And I've learned over the years, okay, please share it. And I have learned over the years that when I feel that, I then need to do something different. And a lot of times I will then begin to either go on a fast to cleanse my body or something like that. I have to do something that counteracts what I'm feeling and what I'm dealing with. So Fatima says, let me step out and share this live. I will be right back. Thank you so much for sharing. Beach is a peaceful place. Yes, it is. That's one of my most peaceful places there is. And even with that, the beach, the water, the serenity, listening to the sounds of that and allowing my spirit to be realigned and to know what it is that I need, you know, and to be able to pray and ask God, you know, for direction and just be quiet sometimes and listen. Oftentimes, when you begin to clear out the negativity, when you begin to clear out anything that's in there that shouldn't be, when you begin to clear that out, you can hear more clearly. Your spirit actually begins to hear better. And you can be wanting direction or wanting to know how to do something. And I will tell you this, sometimes the answers come when you begin to allow yourself to reset. Either going to places that's by the ocean, a peaceful place, maybe a lake or a pond, like Fatima said. Even with different places, allowing yourself that time to reset and unplugging, getting the noise and the stress of everything, and allowing yourself to pray and meditate during those times. That's when you're going to begin to see, and you can hear more clear that way. So just so you know, there are different ways. So you don't have to give in when you're feeling the emotions that feel heavy. When you've put something in there in your body, when you become so in tune with your body and your spirit, you can literally, your discernment, you should be able to feel when something wasn't right, when there's a need for cleansing, when there's a need to push back. So recently, I was dealing with that a few days, and I knew that I needed to fast. Why? Because something was in there that should not have been. Okay? Now, I know this may be a little different for some of you, and you may not, and I respect however everybody else feels, but I have learned over the years how to be very in tune with my body and with my spirit, to know and to listen. Now, I don't always listen, even when I know I should, but there's times that it begins to happen, and you got to know, okay, this is a time you need to push back and not eat, because something's in there that needs to be cleansed. It needs to be flushed out. So that's time that you might have to go and begin to drink, more alkaline water, or you can do a dry fast, or whichever one, but something's in there that shouldn't be, and it needs a cleansing. And so when you do that, you can reset and realign your body back the way it needs to be. So if you're just learning about it, the more you begin to listen, I'm going to tell you this, it's in the stillness and the quiet of where he speaks. Okay, Fatima, I totally understand what you are saying. There are times to purge. Absolutely, Fatima. And sometimes we must be so in tuned that we know, wait a minute, something feels clogged. It doesn't feel right. Or if something even resembles parasites to me, I mean, chronic coughing, or just different things. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. That wasn't there before. That means it's time to cleanse. All right, we need to cleanse that. We need to purge, get rid of whatever that is, and get back on the right track. So the more you listen to your body, the more you learn, you become able to hear very clearly. And the other thing I do enjoy about when you do begin to fast, I don't know if those of you have fasted before, but that's something that I've done for years, more years since I was a little girl. My mom taught us about fasting and praying and all those things, but the older I got, I began to understand even more. So there are times that it's necessary. It is. And at the beginning of each month, the first 3 days of every month, I normally do a fasting and a cleansing, purifying of the body. And then, when I feel it like throughout, I'll also do it. And I just had to do a cleansing again because that's what I felt it. I can feel on the inside, something's in there that's not right. And believe it or not, the cough was so hard. It was nonstop. And I kept thinking, what did I eat? What is inside of there? And so I had to fast to cleanse out my body. Arabella says, yes, I try to fast at least once a week. Absolutely. Absolutely, Audra. That is wonderful. We all need to at least once a week. Some type of fasting is necessary, Yes, there's times that I go on more of a lengthy fast, and there's times I do different fasts. Like if I'm doing fast between a certain hour window, then there's other times that I'm doing it strictly just for spiritual reasons, so that I spend that time with God and fast. Fatima says, I keep the Sabbath. We fast from sundown Friday evening to sundown Saturday. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you're in the habit of doing that. Very, very good. So again, when you are fasting, to give that time to God and to be able to consecrate yourself during that time. And that's a time where that time is dedicated to God. You're not doing any, things that would feed your flesh, but you're doing things that tune in your spirit, and that's the proper way to fast. Is to really spend that time with God and listening. And sometimes just being quiet in the presence. And a lot of times, the answers that you're looking for begin to come the more you fast. And the more you open yourself up to fasting. You're looking for answers, God begins to speak. And all of a sudden it's like you can see clear. That's because your system is not bogged down with all those stuff. So, you guys, I had gotten off from doing it and doing it the right way, and I have been putting things in my body that should not be there. And to be honest, we all make our own decisions because we're adults. But there are things that are not as healthy for our bodies. And that's just one of those things we have to learn about. But at one point in time, I was very rigid, very, very strict and rigid to it. And then I got away from it. And the more processed things that I put in my body began to reverse. And certain illnesses or things tried to show back up. So it did make a difference for me. Now, this is what I can say. When I ate more cleaner and was more intentional about what I allowed in my body, and I didn't eat from everyone. Hear me well. I did not eat from everyone, and I did not eat at everyone's place. Okay? Now, that's because I have to guard my spirit. Yes. Oh, Fatima says, sis, I'm sitting here thinking about a delicious carrot cake, but eating a banana. Well, see, that's how you do it, Fatima. You think about the delicious carrot cake and you eat the banana, and yes, the goodness of that banana. And I love that because guess what? That's thinking, the mind is thinking about something else, and then but eating something more healthier. And to be honest, we all should be at least trying it. I'm just getting ready to get back on this journey. I just started doing more of those fruits and veggies and getting that back in. I was doing fish, and I took a break from that. And so just trying to do more. And like I said, I just had to do a cleansing because it just will not. Well, Fatima says, I still want it though. You know what? There are times that we do want it, but you are doing so good with exercising. You just look like you're just slimming on down, and I'm rooting you on. I told you I need to click on the button and be like, girl, let me try to get some crunches. Let me get some crunches in and try to join you, because I can tell with some of those you're doing, Fatima. I'm like, her stomach and legs got to be burning. Rhonda in Alabama country says, I sure try. I don't care for asparagus, but I try and eat it 3 times a week. Cleanses kidneys and gives energy. Oh, well, that's good, Rhonda. That is so good. Wow. Now, I didn't know that about asparagus. I actually like all veggies. Anything that's a veggie, I could just eat it. But for me, sometimes I don't know what's happening with the body. That's why I think my body needs like a whole cleansing out, because I can eat nothing but vegetables and my body just does nothing. Like, weight does not go anywhere, and I mean nowhere. Trust me. So there has to be something where I need to get a flush of a reset, because something is not, it's kind of off. So I got to figure out what is that factor there that's stopping me. But that is wonderful. Cleanses. I never knew it cleanses the kidneys. So I'm gonna have to get some, because it does cleanse kidneys. Fatima said, she says, good job, Rhonda. And Fatima says, I had started experiencing a lot of acid reflux. I changed my intake. Now that was another thing, Fatima. I had started experiencing that, and I thought something, I don't know if it's something I'm putting in or too much of something. And so much so, I just was like, last night I couldn't hardly eat. I just was like, no, it's time to go on a cleanse. I could just hear that. I just needed to fast. And so that's what I did all day. Because I said, nope, I can tell when it's time to simply fast. And I think that was it too, trying to put too much in there and not even knowing it in certain foods. So those are all different things that we can do that can help one another, and sharing even on our journey. And I love the fact that, Fatima, you're doing it openly. That is it's accountability, because we looking on there and we counting how many, how many crunches you doing, and just watching it to the end. And The last one I caught was all that fish. Rhonda in Alabama Country says, yes, me too. I drink a lot of plain water now. I do drink 1 coffee and 2 green tea with elderberry daily. That's a great idea, Rhonda. I haven't had elderberry in a while. I used to take elderberry and green tea as well. So a lot of the things I was doing, I'm just now getting back to them. And I had ordered the oregano oil, the wild oregano oil, those supplements to help with cleansing, but I don't have them here. And Fatima said, yes, Rhonda, elderberry tea. Yes. There was a lady that used to attend the church there in South Carolina. She made all of the elderberry for us. And so, miss having that. I mean, the doctors there buy from her, actually. And so, it's that potent. She just makes it. And it worked wonderful. And so, I'm going to try to get some from her, see if I can. So yes, being able to do those different things. But I tell you, one of the things that I learned was that, yes, it really was cool. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda says, wow, that's so cool, which it is. And what I had learned with me, my body doesn't like the processed things. My body doesn't like rice, pasta, things that I like that I will eat. My body doesn't like rice, pasta, breads, all of those things tend to keep me swollen. Cooking with Moms 23, thank you so much for all those emojis. My body tends to swell with that. And I was drinking the apple cider vinegar shots. Now, do any of you try those? I was doing them every day, the apple cider vinegar. I would take that, just a little pinch of the Himalayan pink salt. I would put that in there. A little bit of water, just very little. And I would drink that every morning. But I haven't been doing it since I've been here at this temporary place because I had to move out of my apartment there. So it's in the packed, it's in the storage. So I hadn't been doing it. And I really need to start doing that again. Because at one time it looks like it was working, but guess what happened, ladies? I'm gonna be real transparent right now. My face was slim and down, and I mean my clothes were slimming. I just looked like I had lost. I did it on an empty stomach, Rhonda. Yes, my face had slimmed down. My clothes fit different. I mean, my waist looked so thin. And then guess what happened to me? I went to the doctor. And the scale did not drop. Matter of fact, I think the scale may have went up. I was exercising. I was doing it. But my body and my clothes said that I was smaller. I just knew I had lost at least between 10 to 20 pounds. And the scale did not say anything. And I went there, got on that scale, and I was so discouraged. I'm being honest. Yes, but you can look at me. You can tell my face had slimmed down. You can see it in my clothes. I felt thin. Let me just tell you. I felt thin and looked thin. It was enough for everybody at my job to say, oh my God, you've lost so much weight. Oh my God, you've lost so much. Okay. Well, when I stepped on that scale and I was thinking, somebody needs to come and fix this, this scale, this thing. Something's wrong. Because do you see me? Okay? Because I was being faithful, but the scale didn't move. And I got discouraged and I started back eating processed foods when I was doing very well. And then one of the guys, co-worker, it didn't add up. That's why I'm saying, Fatima. Fatima just says that doesn't add up. So either their scale was wrong or one of the co-workers at work says, don't be discouraged. He ended up saying, he said, had you ever thought about that you actually had, but you had gained muscle? So because you looked real skinny, like we could see it. But if you give muscle, and with me being tall, I'm really tall, you guys. So he was saying if that you were working out and doing all this stuff, it turned into muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. So when he said that, I said, well, somebody should have told me that before. It threw me all off. Because I was working out at the gym. I was walking. I was being faithful. I was eating right. I was taking that vinegar and shots on an empty stomach. And I was just, and that really discouraged me. So I have to just get up and do it back again. And so now I'm just getting back on the bandwagon here, trying to go back to the healthier eating. Fatima said that doesn't add up. That's what I was saying. Rhonda in Alabama Country says, yeah, I don't know how that works. Where did it go? Oh, yes, that is true. Muscle weighs more. Fatima says muscle weighs more. Yes, but somebody should have told me that because I was mad. I said I hadn't been doing sugar. That was the other thing I believe that made my face look so slim. They did say when you come off of sugar, that is one of the number one ways that your face and body will begin to immediately look thin. And it's true because I did. I'm going to have to show a couple pictures of me. When I'm telling you, I was looking like I was snatched. Okay? And I hadn't even gone there yet, but I was looking snatched. I mean, my waist was like, whoop, pow, you know. So, Rhonda in Alabama Country says, yes, try it again. Does it upset stomach on empty? Yes. Now, Rhonda, I will tell you that was very hard to do. Because for me, it bothered my stomach. And there would be times that immediately after I drunk it, I would be tempted to put something in there because for a moment I would feel a little nauseated, sick, and I would have to get over that feeling. And then I would be okay to keep, fasting during that hours. So I would fast and try to eat during the window of 12 p.m. and 8. But I would fast from 8 o'clock to the next day, 12. So, and I start doing that. And that's when the weight just seemed like it was coming off. But when that scale lied to me, I was very upset. Yes, try it again. Does it upset the stomach? Okay, I read that one. Rhonda in Alabama Country. Oh, I hate that feeling. Yes, that's the part that I hated, in all honesty. That feeling of being sick, that was like not good. Yeah. So that's the only part that I hated. And what I started doing, I started having to put water in it, in the shot, because, oh, I would do apple cider vinegar, a half of lemon, a pinch of pink Himalayan salt, and then I would add water to kind of balance it. So, and there's times if I had enough of the lemon juice, it would help. It would help offset it. But I've got to get back to it because it was working. And when I was completely off of sugar, like no rice, pasta, bread, all of the stuff I like, yes, it made a major difference. Yes. And you guys, you know, I can tell a major difference. Do you know that when I was saying I noticed something was in there that shouldn't have been, like that I had eaten, and I felt like my body needed to cleanse, almost like, you know, I can feel as if it was parasites or something in something that I ate. I could feel it. I had a chronic cough and couldn't stop coughing. And that's why I said, no, that's impurities. And like now, I still was coughing a little bit earlier, but since I've been on the live, normally, you know, I think I may have coughed once or maybe twice, but it has made a difference with the cleansing. Oh, Fatima says, wow, I wouldn't be able to do vinegar and lemon juice, too much acid for me. It is a lot. It is a lot. And I had to dilute it with water. And Rhonda in Alabama Country says, could you eat a cracker at least before drinking it? Well, they tell you they want you to do it on an empty stomach so that it, of course, burns it more. But I think if you're doing fasting, then you want to, that doesn't break your fast, that shot. But if you want to get the what is it? The apple cider vinegar in the gummy, that works too, if you don't want to just take the other straight. So eating the cracker would break your fast if you're doing it in the fasting window. And I learned that off of Keisha, Kick Weight with Keisha. Now, she's a person that's lost over 100 pounds naturally and has kept it off. So she does all these challenges like on Instagram. I think she might be on here too, but it's called Kick Weight with Keisha. And she teaches you how to do all of these challenges to lose weight quickly, but healthy. And because she's done it for years, and that's the other thing, she teaches you how to do it to come off of sugar. So basically, you know, in your eating window, you're having vegetables. She tell you how much to have, and then she'll tell you to have some type of meat, whatever type you want. And those are the two things you can have. And then she may say some kind of fat, like you can put butter on something. You can put, she named a few fats, but pretty much that's what you do. And you do the fasting window. And then outside of that, she may have you drink one protein shake. So she puts you on these regimens to lose weight quickly. She shows you results of how she used to look like she was 8 months pregnant. And now she is like snatched. She looks beautiful. And she's helped thousands of other people do the same thing, lose weight. So that's who I got that information from. And when I was doing her challenge, I can honestly say that's when I saw, I just got discouraged when I didn't see any pounds off. But noticeable difference, absolutely. There's pictures of me. I mean, it was noticeable. I can honestly say. Now, had I stepped on there and it said 10 pounds or something was off, then I would have kept going. But because I didn't see any result, I thought something's wrong. I've been telling them that for a while. I said, something's keeping me from losing weight. And I don't know what this is. So it could be hormones or whatever. But anyway, yes, you can look her up, and she gives great goals and things. But yeah, so I guess that's our little powwow for the night of discussing our mindset and how we can take care of our bodies. Fatima, thank you. You are beautiful, sis. You are very kind. Thank you so much. So much. And so are you. Your skin, all just beautiful. Oh my goodness. So, Rhonda in Alabama country, what I was thinking too, Fatima, she is gorgeous. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet, Rhonda. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very kind of you as well. So, well, I'm looking forward to getting this body the way it needs to be, the way she looks on the inside, because on the inside I've got this whole different personality and energy. Well, you know, I am all those parts. So that's why I always say I'm multifaceted. So it just depends on which part of me you're going to get. So I'm very honored, very pleased to have all of you. And I thank you for taking the time out and sharing, being a part of my live. You could have been to anyone else's page, but I am honored by your presence. I am blessed to have you show up and spend time with me. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. And I appreciate you more than words can say. Double shalom to you. May in your life, may there be nothing missing, nothing lacking in your lives, and nothing broken. Amen, amen. Okay, Rhonda says, you are a joyful person and a pleasure to listen to. Thank you, Rhonda. What a wonderful thing to say. Fatima says, what will be your lifetimes? I do need to set those. Right now, it looks like around 9 p.m. is going to work. The other times I've been pushing the button and just saying, boom, I need to go live, making myself do it. But 9 p.m. is going to be, well, Eastern Standard Time Zone is around 9 p.m. So I'll tend to do around 9 and then kind of let that go. I'm trying to find my way on these beautiful YouTube streets, the Lamborghini of platforms. I keep saying that YouTube is the Lamborghini of platforms. So I know how to drive on the others, but here on the YouTube streets, I'm very grateful to you. I'm grateful to all of you. And may everything that you've been praying for and desire come to pass. And just hold on, because things are about to change swiftly for you in your life. That's right. So don't look at the way things have been. Keep your focus and know that if you keep your hands to the plow and don't give up, you will see the manifestation of every promise that God has spoken to you for you. This is your time. This is your season, and it's your turn. All right? So everybody has a time, a season, and they all have a turn. Rhonda, yes, I will find you too, Fatima. And Mods 23, bye, goodbye. Thank you. See you next time. Yes, double shalom to you all. Yes, Rhonda at Ghana, Africa Bound. Yes, yes, yes. Bye, everyone. Okay, thank you. In cooking. Oh, you cooking? Okay. Fatima, since I received that. Amen, amen. Blessings, blessings, blessings to you. All right, until next time, we'll see you guys then. All right, now don't forget to share it out if you so desire. But I certainly appreciate all of you. All right, good night.